So, right, let's do we've got an episode check 287, date check 1st of May. Fine, okay. I'm ready when you are, buddy.
I'm ready to go. I'll have my first sip.
Oh. Ooh. Is that like your first tramp sip of the day? Hey! Hello, and welcome to the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Today is Wednesday, the 1st of May 2019, and my name is Darren Baldock. Joining me at the other end of the internet in a brand new studio location. I don't know what we'll call it yet. It's where are you again?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay. Well, he's not in Houston, so he must be in the first name. Yeah. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's yeah. Oh fuck me! It took a while for the penny to drop, didn't it? Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick back, relax, and enjoy episode 287 of the Midlife Gamer Podcast, your brand new quarterly show, brought to you live from Rugeley and Whitney. Matthew, how the hell are you? It's been too long, but your face looks as gorgeous as ever. Gotta say.
Thank you, sir. You're looking good. It's good to catch up with you.
Yeah, I was introduced on a all right. So, in the grand scheme of hierarchy within my business, I'm small fry. Okay, I'm kind of doing this gig at the moment, which puts me in other places that I'm not used to being. Which kind of climaxed today in the attendance of a leadership call. Or leadership meeting with lots of senior people from the business, and I was introduced as Darren Baldock, the man with the incredible beard. Oh, well, that's a fucking fantastic intro. That is. That's how they're going to remember me. So, yeah, I'm cultivating a bit of a rug here. I'm Colin. I'm chasing you.
Have you got
I'm going for it.
I keep seeing advertised on Facebook and stuff like that, the really good miracle brushes. Have you got a good brush?
I've got a boar hair brush and a wooden comb, and I've got all of the oils and tinctures and salves that go on my face. The problem I have at the moment is that it's so long. It started to develop like a natural weft.
And excuse me?
So it's like a little kink in the hair.
Oh, like a little yeah.
So it doesn't sit straight. So I need to consult my my beard whisperer, i.e. the barber, and see what I can do about that.
Was that Ali the barber?
Oh, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It might have been Glynis. Bit of a throwback there, am I right? Yes. Dempsey and Makepeace. Oh, all the dads will have watching that show. Right. Yeah, so, beard might have to get trimmed a little bit because it's getting a bit out of control. Although the good lady, she joked at first. She says, "Oh, I've got a set of little beetle hair straighteners." She says that might sort your beard out. And anyway, she found them, and I'd had a drink, and I said, "Come on then, let's have a go." I says, "You do it though, because I don't know what I'm doing." So she's got these red hot straighteners. And she's straightening my beard hair, and I could smell the burning. I'm like, fucking hell, my beard's on fire. No, that's natural, that's normal. Don't worry, Darren.
Okay.
So, but it worked, gotta say. But I've reached a point in my life, and I have for so many years now, as far as I can remember. I always love the fact that my hair is so short that it requires no sort of extra maintenance whatsoever, to the point now where I spend zero time on my hair, maybe just rub a towel over it when I step out of the shower, to potentially 10-15 minutes pissing around with my beard.
Oh, nice work. You need a hobby.
I've got enough hobbies, thank you. Yes, I think I'll stick to the gaming. Thank you. Get a lot more joy out of that. So anyway, speaking of gaming, that's I guess why we've always been here. And I know that we like to talk about other things and we like to go off on tangents, but ultimately the core of our show is about our lives, what we do, and ultimately what we've been playing, what we've been entertaining ourselves and potentially other people with. So let's start with non-gaming entertainment. What I mean, shit. It's been a long while. We're back in on the thrones.
Oh, does that mean your Now TV subscription's back on? Oh
yes, bought a 2-month subscription off eBay, just perfect. And I'd set my alarm for 6 o'clock on Monday morning to watch the latest episode, which at time of recording was episode 3, which was the Battle of Winterfell. Bloody good, bloody good.
Good telly.
Good telly.
Don't think about it too much. Enjoy it. Don't wash over you.
No, I do think about it, but I like thinking about it because I think it was good. I think it was well paced. I think there was a good rhythm to that episode. There was like you were on a roller coaster. You're like, oh, we're going to do this. Oh no, we're fucked. Oh no, I think we got a chance. Oh no, we're absolutely fucked. Oh no, we're fucked again. But no spoilers, please.
Of course not.
No spoilers from our end, naturally. So yeah, Game of Thrones is all right. Did I hear you went to see a certain feature film at the cinema?
I went to go and see Endgame on, I think it was the opening night. It was the Thursday.
Okay.
And there's a little cinema in town, and I went on my own. I went to the cinema on my own. I don't think I've ever done that. And to be honest, didn't feel that bad about it.
Did you enjoy your personal hot dog surprise?
It is always a surprise.
Or is it the popcorn surprise?
It's always a surprise. And it was, the film's all right. What I was...
Whoa, hang on a minute, right? So this is kind of a bit of a departure from the stuff I'm reading on social media, because I just learn everything through social media now. So I'm seeing wow, incredible, amazing, and then you rock up and go, yeah, it's all right.
It is all right. It's fun. It's long.
Okay.
It's long, but it's fun. I've never had this.
Sounds like my penis. But
I've never really been that invested though in.
Said no woman ever. Go on, carry on.
I've never been that invested in any of the movies. They're all fun, great flicks, and very entertaining. But no, I wasn't like people like, oh my god, who's gonna die? Who's gonna make it through? And well, I'm not gonna be that guy tearing up. Although you did hear a lot of fellas having just clearing their throats. I'm not choked up. I've just had some popcorn go down the wrong way.
I'm still playing catch up, mate.
Where are you at?
I'm still playing catch up. So I recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favourites.
James Gunn's cracking director. We won't go off on a tangent about where he's up to and what he's doing at the moment. Kind of, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. You don't need to know. What else did I watch?
That means you got
Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man. What do you think? All right.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Yeah, not bad. I'm very fascinated by the technology that clearly is the in thing in Hollywood at the moment, which is taking old actors and making them look younger. So there was the piece at the beginning where, oh shit, I can't even remember the guy's name now. He likes having sex with Welsh women.
He does.
A lot, by all accounts.
Basic Instinct.
Yeah, Michael Douglas. That's the fella. So he's looking dead young at the beginning, and I just think that's great. That's great because they did similar with Samuel L. Jackson for Captain Marvel, didn't they?
Yeah, and they did it in Tron, didn't they, as well?
Did they? I've not seen Tron. So.
I've not, but I know that was a thing they did with Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, the film was good. I can't wait to watch it on DVD. DVDs. But what I kind of missed out on, or what I kind of anticipated from opening night, was a bit more sort of excitement in the audience. But is that just not us? I wanted some sort of.
You need to go to the States for that, mate. Hooping and hollering.
Hooping and hollering. I got back and I did some. I straight back thought, well, great. I know all the. I know that I can't get spoiled. I'll just take a big old deep dive. And I found myself watching. Somebody had audio recorded an audience in a red carpet audience.
Yeah.
And it was just blackness on the screen, but it would come up in a title say the moment that something did this.
Yeah.
And you hear the crowd thinking, shit, I wish I was there. That's like a fucking experience. It's like a moment. None of that where I was. It was just shh.
Yeah. Over here, it's like shh. Keep me quiet, please. I want to call the manager if you don't shut the fuck up.
I had a mouth breather next to me.
Did you?
Yeah. need friends. Is what I'm taking away from this. Is I need some friends.
Was he rocking solo as well?
No, he had a partner and everything.
What was his name?
I went on a schmooze in. Giving the sales talk about the old.
Do you want a bit of popcorn, mate? Okay.
It's so sweet.
Yeah. Okay. No. Cool. TV wise, we covered Game of Thrones. A bit all over the place with other stuff. I'm just trying to remember. There's loads of things I've watched, but nothing that really bears, warrants any further discussion at this moment in time.
I'll tell you what does, and that's Into the Spider-Verse. You need to go and watch that.
Right. Okay. Well, that's just come out on the DVDs, I think, and VHS,
and your rental services of choice.
Yeah. Blockbuster Video. I'll be down there later.
Absolutely.
So get a 2-night rental or something.
Yeah. Now that is a romp.
Okay.
And that's the closest I've seen a comic book, like rendered on a big old telly. Fantastic work all round.
Okay, grand. It's good. It's a good time to be alive where entertainment is concerned.
Yeah,
I think.
Especially if you listen to this. I know we may be lowering the bar overall, maybe, but whatever. Come on, it's all right.
I think we're going for quality versus quantity, and quality versus what's the word I'm looking for? Frequency. Content over frequency. Not doing particularly well, but it's early days yet. We're only about 10 minutes in, so
it's all to play for.
I'm just checking my record buttons pressed. Otherwise, we'll be very sad, won't we? It's been that long. It took me about 20 minutes to down my laptop before we could record. That's why I was running late. So I do apologise, brother.
Oh, well, how long did it take to patch up your PlayStation 4, or was that a spoiler?
I don't know. I need to sort my entertainment room out actually, because that's kind of become my dumping ground for loads of shit. So my dining room, which is now my board game room or my bumder cave, which whoever you speak to on a particular day, it's where I do all my bumdering. You see, with my board game bumders. So that's all nice and tidy now and sorted, and then the other room's just no, you don't want to go in there. So I need to clean house a bit because I want to be able to relax with the lovely lady and enjoy films, particularly when she got me a poster for Christmas with 100 movies you're supposed to watch. We've not watched any yet. It's fucking May. We've not watched any, so we need to address that. But also, I want to get some time in front of my PS4 again.
Why not?
Why not? Because I got Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I got Bloodborne. Now, how does this work, right? So I'm the guy that imported Demon Souls from Hong Kong, and I was playing it. And you remember? I can't remember what episode it was. Go all the way back to below 3-digit numbers.
It was like a VHS dodgy porn video that all your friends borrowed.
Yeah. That's right. And
I had a go on it.
Yeah. So so I was in there. I was in there on the ground floor, potentially in the basement, because I went to the crazy lengths of importing it, and now zoom forward to 2019. And I'm now buying. How long's Bloodborne been out now? I remember going to. I think the first time I saw that was at Gamescom, and it's been a few years since I've been to Gamescom. So that's not a new title, but do you know what? It's still a Souls game.
Of course it is.
Yeah, you dress her up in a different pair of knickers, and she still smells the same.
So we're 4 years old, that game is, fella.
Yeah, but I was prompted or made the decision to purchase this game on the back of the Kickstarter for the board game.
So you did it the wrong way round. Well, not the wrong way round. You did it the other way round.
I did it another way round that I wouldn't normally go, and I just found that really interesting. Particularly when for so much of my life, video games have always come first, and for so long, board games didn't even get a look in. And then, obviously, well documented, came into my life. I went a bit mental, got really heavily involved with it, and I'm still loving it to this day. I may have relaxed my purchasing of late, which is not a bad thing considering my house is only so big, but my passion is still there, and I love getting things to the table. I love playing board games. But I need to get back on that video game tip, and I think Bloodborne is the perfect place to start, because I fear I'm going to get my ass handed to me, and I'm going to learn and learn and learn and get better and better, and hopefully get somewhere and achieve something within that game. Because the Kickstarter's live right now. Don't think it ships until 2020, which is about right. It's about right. It's heavily miniature oriented, which is no surprise considering it's coming from CMON. So CMON are a company that they do this with all of their releases. They go to Kickstarter. It's always loads of miniatures. There's normally a ton of dice as well, particularly where Eric Lang's concerned, who's a really great game designer, and he's kind of, I guess he's on the paycheck, or he's on the payroll with CMON. So he's had his hand in design. He's not the lead designer, but he's certainly had his hand in it. But they'll generally just throw a lot of miniatures, and their miniatures are absolutely outstanding. They really are incredible. And you think about the size differential between your character in Bloodborne and some of the monsters that you will encounter. There's some huge fucking minis in there. And things will start ramping up. They'll release a few add-ons. They've done a couple already, which cost an extra $40 each. So they've got it right, because they're tapping into the completionist in people. And what starts originally as maybe an £80-90 purchase turns into a £200 purchase if you're not careful. But that said, as a video gamer who is a fan of Bloodborne, I would say if you're interested, just go in with the basic pledge, unless you feel the need to own everything. Because the extended content is just extra minis, extra missions, extra cards, and it just expands the content of the core game. But the bottom line is that the core game will service you as a method of playing the board game perfectly fine. And I could say that about a hell of a lot of games that have expansions attached to them, with the exception of probably Fantasy Flight, because they do like selling you half a game in a box and then selling you additional stuff to make it complete.
So with your physical DLC, have you ever had something as, I don't know, infamous as horse armour?
I bought a DeLorean for Colt Express.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Did that do the square root of fuck all?
It had some interesting mechanics, and they didn't call it the DeLorean because license.
Rights.
Yeah, because rights and licensing. It was called the time travel car.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Snappy.
Yes, I thought so too. Getting back into my Kickstarter tip. Back in a few things, which isn't a good sign. But you know what? It's like, well, future Darren will worry about where he's going to put all those when they arrive. Yeah. And in the meantime, I'm enjoying my little dalliances with Kickstarter.
Good.
So anyway, we got a bit ahead of ourselves. Don't talk about board games till later on in the show. So I want to hear all about your video game shenanigans since we last spoke.
Okay. I picked up Devil May Cry 5. And not long after release, I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm having that. I've always liked me a bit of Devil May Cry.
If you're a new listener, welcome. and Matt's got a bit of a love affair over time with Devil May Cry, haven't you?
I don't know. I don't know. You say that. I've not played a good few of them. I remember playing the first one on the PlayStation 2, and I just loved the tone. I was the perfect age for that as well. I was loving things like The Crow and all things a little bit fucking late 90s, early 2000s emo. Like Blade was fucking brilliant.
But Blade still is brilliant, mate.
Let it be said. Let it be told.
Somebody talked me out of that statement because you're wrong. Blade is still a fucking awesome film.
And I don't know, because as we know, I was playing Persona 5 last year when we last spoke, and I sort of put that down for a bit to start playing Devil May Cry 5. So I played the first one, and I didn't play 2 or 3. Really enjoyed 4 on the 360, and I really, really enjoyed the reboot DMC. Yeah. So this is staying back in that canon, and I'm well out of it. I've got no idea what's been going on, but they I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because of that.
Okay.
And they've really gone to town on this game, and they did on DMC, and they have previously as well. There's 3 playable characters, so as well as your traditional Dante and Nero, who came in from 4 and is still here in 5, you've got a dude called V, and he plays completely differently than the other 2. And once again, what's great with these games is they all do play differently, and you really can hone your skills and learn how to be the coolest, baddest demon hunter ever alive. Personally, I sort of put it on the easy level and go, I'm just going to mash these buttons, yeah? Is that all right?
Yeah.
I'll mash. And it's got everything in there. It's got like a bloody palace mode where it's just wave after wave, just to see how far you can get. And you're always getting, because you remember back in the day, up until recently, and kind of still now, is that you get all these red orbs, and then you would spend those red orbs on healing items and use healing items during a mission if you were struggling. Now this has kind of made a bit of a change, and they've allowed it to be microtransactional. You can just buy a big wealth of gems, these red gems that, although you still collect normally, you can just top it up. And the reason I top it up is they sort of tie it in with resurrection. So if you die on a run on a level on a boss fight, because you will, because they're incredible and they're fun, but they're difficult and challenging, you get an option to spend an amount of gems to come back to life. And you can choose between 3 options. One of them brings you back with full health and full devil trigger, one with just a bit, one with just the basics.
Yep.
And if you don't know what you're doing, you're very quickly, because the next time that you die, it costs more money to choose that option to come back the way that you wanted to. You do get daily gems if you log in each day, and then that's one of them. And you do also find these golden ones around the levels as well. But on 2 occasions, I found myself throwing £1.79 at them. Just so I can.
They've gone down the mobile app microtransaction route, haven't they? Daily login bonuses.
I mean, if you have a daily login bonus, then that's it. That's the obvious. Yes, that's what you're doing. And it's not. I mean, is it breaking the game? I don't know. Because you can just say, no, I'm not doing that. I'll start the level again, and then you're like, oh, fucking start the level again, man. What about a checkpoint, you cheeky bastard? Yeah. And I don't know if I'm over, like, not quite remembering it fully, but no, all those experiences I totally had with it, and I've not been back to it since the house move. But the house move has happened. I'm in the office here, and I've got the PlayStation set up on the smaller telly.
Yep.
I was looking into PlayStation TV still exist.
You're asking the wrong person nowadays, mate.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
So I'm looking away at streaming to the big telly. When I fancy it in the evening without moving hardware around. Mm-hmm. But the only thing that I have been playing is I have been back onto Persona 5. And Jesus Christ, I've got pages worth of stuff I've written down about this game.
Okay.
For the simple fact that it's one of my favourite games
ever.
We'll just leave it there. Leave it there. It's one of my favourite games.
All right.
I've fallen down. I've fallen in love with everything about it, and particularly around the fandom of it. Because this is a 20-year-old franchise this is, and it came from, I'll give it a go. I wrote it down, not phonetically, but Shin Megami Tensei. Sounds about right. It's like a spin-off, this Persona was. And I think they've always been on Sony platforms, and obviously they're developed in the East, and then they get translated and they get brought over to the West. And from memory as well, I seem to remember that like it would be a big fucking thing when a Persona came out.
Yeah.
And then people would be, do I import it or do I wait for the translation? So generally, everyone waits for the translation.
Yeah.
And I can see why they do, because it's that as an element of, as a piece of work that people have to put into a game, the translation of something must be very difficult to get right.
Well, it's incredibly text heavy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And there's context in what they're saying, so localization team, be big for that game.
You're right, yes. I mean, I'm glad that localization is a thing more than just translation, because it's more than just the sum of that. But what I found with Persona 5 is that I haven't purchased the soundtrack yet. I'll find a way to, but I will very often sit working in the daytime with just the Persona 5 soundtrack just going and going and going, and I've fallen in love with a couple of key tracks.
Okay, what we're talking, is this K-pop or J-pop, should I say? K-pop.
I don't know. No idea. Go on YouTube and check it out, because I've been, like, if I'm in the car, I've got Spotify on, and I'll search for the Persona 5 soundtrack. It's not the original one, but it's like different bands doing different covers of these songs.
Okay. And
they're all really fucking good. And I mean, all the words are in English as well, I think, at least for the heavy hitters. I've been on YouTube watching the live concerts they do each year, 3-hour-long concerts, and people fucking losing their minds with the dancers dressed up as the characters, and fucking, oh god, I was like, I want to be there, but I want to be able to sit down.
No, you can't, and it's great. It's great how culturally different we are in so many ways to other parts of the world. And I always spring to mind, what was that? Was it Rhythm Heaven we used to play on the DS? And so my first question is, are the songs on Persona 5 as good as some of those songs from Rhythm Heaven? Because they were so fucking catchy.
All right, well, they're certainly more theatrical, and they're not 8-bit. Okay. No, but there's that bloody YouTube clip of the live one, and there's grown men in the audience doing the actions and that were in the video game. It's crazy. It's well worth hunting down. I can't remember the name of the track actually, but bonkers, mate. It is. I mean,
so 150 hours? Did you say?
I think my clock time at the moment on my save says about 170, but I think I lost a day to leaving it paused. I've been leaving it just on because you can't always save, and very often what will happen is I'll reach the end of a battle, and then something will distract me over here, and I'll start working. Before I know it, the controller's turn itself off, and the 2-minute-long victory song has been looping for 10 minutes, but it's so fucking good that I'm like, oh shit, I'm still fucking playing this, aren't I?
So what's drawing you back to it each and every time?
Well, you get a real good rhythm of the combat element of it. Real good rhythm. If that's what you want to go in there for, you can focus on doing a bit of that. If you want to go in there just to mop up some side stories, do you know what I mean? Go and sell some shit, upgrade some shit, you can do that. Or if you want to progress the main story, you can do that. But outside of the story, there's side quests are always side quests, and they exist in this, but they're generally fed to you by we'll call them a non-player character. The best parts there, they're called confidants.
Yeah.
And some of them end up being party members. Some of them are people who exist in the world, shopkeepers, teachers, nurses. And either any of those things pull me back. They all do. I mean, I wanted to sort of. It is really separated in two ways. There's the social element of it, and then there's your typical, what I always recognize from Final Fantasy, which we turn-based combat. It's brilliant. It's what I've always preferred. It's what Demon's Winter and Fantasy and a lot of old RPGs I played were that, which is what I'm after. I don't know if I'm reaching the end. I don't want it to end. I know that there's a balls deep version coming out next year.
Oh wow! How balls deep is it? What's the difference?
It's they've all I know. The big thing is they've added another character, another confidant. I'm assuming it's going to be a playable one. Okay. So that's coming out this year in Japan, and it'll be localized and sent our way sometime next year. And I'll absolutely go and get it again. I'll get it again, 100%.
So let's assume that at some point you're going to finish Persona 5. Do you think that you'd be inclined to go back and maybe not right back to the beginning, because I think that would be a hard task for anybody, but potentially going back to the last iteration? I don't know. Do you still have a Vita, or did you ever have one?
I do actually have one. As I move, I can't find the power supply, but I hear what you're saying, and I think the answer is no. The answer is no. I've spent a number of hours watching like breakdowns of the previous games and being able to appreciate where they came from and what they did and what they've always done well.
Yeah. And
when I was taking a look at some stuff on Wikipedia today, I was like, oh, okay, I can see that actively each title has been better reviewed.
Yeah.
So what they've been doing in 20 years has resulted in a game that is completely out of left field for me, and is up there with some of the greats.
Like what? What would you class as your greats?
I don't know. So
what was that one with the with the bullet time stuff? God, you always used to bang on about it.
Bayonetta?
No, the guy, and he'd jump to the side in slow motion.
Max Payne.
Max Payne. Yeah.
Max Payne would be up there. Yeah, this would be up there. Ultima Online would be up there.
Peggle
would be up there.
Yes,
Peggle
it would
100% be up there.
So you've added a new, I guess a whole new colour and texture to your gaming tapestry. Would that be fair to say?
I think it would be. I don't know if I've learned much from it. I don't know how accurate it is to the culture and the places over in Japan. It never comes across. Well, firstly, it's not forced because they fucking made it. But there's no real stereotypes in there. I guess the only constant and the only stereotype is the fact that you're a teenager and your friends are teenagers in a world where you're trying to. Well, all the baddies are always adults. Simple as that, and teenagers are just nothing to do. And they've got teenager worries, do you know what I mean? They've got, they're body conscious, they're unable to achieve what they want to do, they feel they've got expectations to live up to. And that's sort of the themes that the game tackles are really important themes. I don't know, plagiarism. I wrote a bunch down. I had to write some stuff down, fella. I really did. So things like bullying, suicide, plagiarism, mental and physical abuse, murder, vanity, general corruption and evilness. But it very cleverly intertwines that with the fact that they're still teenagers and they still have their own problems and their own things that they want to do as individuals, and you go on this journey with them. Like, you're still the silent protagonist. You have conversation options, but that generally just sort of flavors the next comments, or it dictates how much love you get from that person, because each of these confidants you have, again, either people who are part of your team or people who you interact with in the world, you have a bond strength level with each of them, and that only increases by spending time with them. And spending time with people is important, because when you start to level up your confidence, if they're part of your team generally on the battlefield, then they'll be a lot better at doing that. If they're a store owner, you'll unlock a customization option for your weapons. And some of these confidants are people trying to get on with their life, and you're helping them out, and then you're finding out things about their life that's really troublesome and really heartbreaking. And you, as a teenager who's been sent to this part of Japan with a blemished record, you've found yourself being able to make huge changes to people's hearts. And it's all about changing people's hearts. There's an evil element to the world. It's called Mementos. It's just evil, and we can go there. And we can go there. We can get shit done. We can go there and grind, just do some combat. We can go there because we've got some side quests to go there, and that's where the side quests are. So you can go in there, and you can play around, and you'll find people who are evil, and you have to essentially fight them. It's a boss fight, and then you change their hearts. In the real world, their hearts are better, and they're better people. You're confident, can then carry on doing what they're doing, and your bond grows with them. But if someone becomes incredibly evil, and we're talking despicable, then their cognitive world builds a palace around them, which is themed around them. So you've got Mementos, which is your cookie cutter, procedurally generated, mostly kind of boring to navigate. But then when you have the opportunity to infiltrate a palace of somebody who's big in the world right now and is terrorizing people. I mean, like so the first one, for example, is the coach in the school that you've just gone to, and you have to change his heart because you soon learn that he is a prick.
Oh, is he like Bullet Baxter from Grange Hill?
What did he do?
He was a prick. All sports coaches are pricks.
Well, this guy also ended up having one of the cheerleaders try and commit suicide. He was very abusive, very, very nasty piece of work.
Yeah.
And what the game does is when it targets you with a story movement like this, it gives you a deadline. There's a deadline to do this in. And in the instance of the coach, it was the end of the semester because that's when you're going to get expelled.
Right.
So you have to use that time wisely. It will take you maybe 3 or 4 attempts to delve into their palace, to learn it, find all the save points, work out what kind of enemies you're up to, find the end goal, and then defeat that person. So let's say you've got 18 days. Do you want to just piss them straight into the dungeons, or do you want to spend your time increasing your passive skills, opening new avenues, learning about people? And that's where your daytime, day-to-day works when you're not in combat. So your day will start and you'll go to school, generally automatically. You'll bang straight onto the thing. And what's great is if you've got a book on you and you're lucky enough to get a seat on the bus or the train, you get to read part of your book. And if you finish reading a book, you get stat buffs.
Ah, okay.
So then you're in class for the day, and you'll probably be thrown a question, multiple choice answer. If you get it right, then one of your stats goes up a little bit. There's always something to do, and there's always some way to benefit from it. So if you choose to spend time with one of your confidants, one of your friends, you might go to the mall together, or you'll go and train, or you do something. You'll learn more about them. But again, that takes up time. So you start thinking to yourself, well, I really want to go and spend some time with Anne, but I've also got a shitload of stuff which is all muddy from the dungeon. I could go to the laundrette and wash it all, see what we got, but that'll take up time. So you only find yourself being able to do maybe 2 things each day. And if you do spend a day either going to Mementos or going into a palace, you have to sleep afterwards. You can't spend that time doing whatever. I don't want to keep, I mean, like I say, I wrote fucking 2 pages worth of stuff here, but I'm not going to sit and break everything down to you because it's something if anything that I'm talking about sounds intriguing, give it a go. But it's got a barrier to entry, even though it's refined and 20 years on. You're very much put on training wheels for quite a long time, and it can be daunting. What I found myself what I realized is that there is fast travel in it. It doesn't use up time. You can just whiz around the city, place to place, before you decide what it is that you're gonna do right now. But yeah, I don't know how much it was. Stylish as fuck. Check out everything. Check things out which isn't spoilers. Listen to the music. Go and watch the intro. Watch the intro of the game. It's set to a great piece of music. It's the first thing that you see when you boot it up, and it still puts. It makes me recognize. It makes me stand up and go, yeah, man. And I want to start running again soon. And some of these tracks are going on my running playlist. I guarantee I will not stop.
Good man. Oh wow. Well, the fact that the game made it past your 20-minute test is and has actually now ended up being over 150 hours. That speaks volumes to how pretty amazing this game is to you. And I don't see why it shouldn't be pretty amazing to many of the listeners who maybe have a vague interest. So yeah, I echo that sentiment. If you're interested in anything that Matt's just spouted about that game so lovingly and passionately, go check something out. Get involved.
Do's it. 2 thumbs up.
Okay. So PC gaming, what's occurring there?
Oh, okay then. So I've been. Do you know what? I've been playing Forza Horizon 3,
So
the latest one.
Yeah, something Forza. Yeah.
Set in England, and it's got places I know around here, like Vale of the White Horse. You can go to the White Horse Field, and do you know what? There must have been people there going like, in the same way that Porsche didn't used to like to have their cars in racing games because they didn't like people to think you could ever crash a Porsche. I'm surprised some of the Oxfordshire folk didn't look at that game and go, whoa, we can't have a game where you're just running down all of our really old not buildings, but all the old walls and the fences and the trees and everything.
Yeah, run the old people down. We don't need them anymore.
That does something really cool. That drive avatar system that they implemented a while ago. I keep seeing names of people above cars, and because it's my 360 account or my Xbox Live account, there's names I now have not fucking thought about in years. I'm like, I remember you. Oh, you're always a prick. Stop doing this.
Am I still a driver tard?
Yeah. Your mad skills are still in the cloud somewhere, Darren.
Jesus Christ.
What else have I done on there? That was it. I was like, Joe, what? I want to get. I thought I'd try Apex Legends because I played it on the PlayStation. I thought, well, that's fucking ancient. This is. Let's try Apex Legends. So I went out and I got. I was like, oh, I've got. Is it now? I get that client. I think it was the Epic Games Store, and I got the Epic Games Store. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Oh shit, it's not the Epic Games Store. It's the other one. Oh fuck, no, I've got to get another one now. And before I know it, I've got 3 or 4 different launchers. I don't fucking use any of them.
Well, many you'll probably never use for one game for as long as you play it, and then it gathers dust. You can always uninstall it and reinstall it. I've never had a problem with having multiple launchers. You know, it's a means to an end. You know, you don't eat all your dinner off one plate, do you?
Try to.
Yeah. No, but you don't use the same plate every single day.
Well, no.
I'd like to think that there's more than one plate in the Moore household.
Surrounded by plates.
Exactly.
Yeah, that seemed to run okay. I found out that I can't WASD. I can't WASD anymore.
It's a young man's game, my friend.
Fuck, it is my wrists, man. Arthritis, is it? Oof, jeez, it's all kicking in. I found myself playing Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4, straight, not even touch the campaign, straight into into random lobbies, into whatever the latest modes are, and every time I played their maps that I knew,
yeah,
and I was doing really fucking well. I feel like, oh, there's noob turner, he's got no camo, he's got no prestige levels, nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, I bet it's a pro, and he's just got a secondary account.
He's got an alt account.
Yeah. No, that was me, and that was a lot of fun. One thing I've still not learned how to do or even attempted to do yet is multiplayer with other people with communication on a PC. I've not done that yet.
Okay. Oh, there's a multitude of solutions out there. I think a lot of people use Discord now because there is a built-in chat option. I'm old school. I'll still stick with TeamSpeak. It's still a thing. Fuck push to talk. Can't be doing with that. You can hear me mouth breathe and vape all you like. I don't care. I'm not worrying about pressing a key just to make your life better. Fuck you and your life. I want to focus on, I've only got 10 fingers or 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. They're focused on other things. I'm not wasting a pinky on making your life better. So get to fuck.
Ooh, strong words from Mr. Bulldog.
No, there's automation built into these things now. You can have it like there's a threshold where if it detects whether you're speaking or not. So there's all sorts of solutions out there. Just get over it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Apex Legends. So Gears of War I'm just trying to visualise this now. Were you using a 360 controller plugged in to a USB?
Yeah.
Thank Christ for that.
No, I wasn't going to WASD Gears of War.
WASD Gears of War. Jesus Christ. I'll come back to it because you're in your flow at the moment. So, what else have you been making? Any curious Steam purchases, or have you delved into any kind of free to play gaming?
No, I did download Sea of Thieves, which I I understand they've updated and could be fun to play, and it'd be interesting to see it because that's cross-platform.
Yeah, cool.
Part of that ecosystem. I need to look up a library. Someone sent me something called Killer Lady in a Bind. Killer Lady in a Bind. I played it for 4 hours apparently.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Let me see if I can. How do I find out what it's called? Store page. That's what you want, isn't it? Store page. Here we go. I can do this. I can do this. An erotic romance comedy about social manipulation, cross-dressing, and girls just trying it on with other girls.
It's right up your Strasser, that, isn't it, mate?
I know, man. This was gifted to me.
I bet it was. Oh, yeah, that old chestnut. No, I didn't buy this, honestly.
Who is it? He's fucking gifting me things. I'll find out and thank them at some point. But he keeps getting like, I try this code and load it up. I'm like, oh no, I need to get the Origin thing. Okay, I'll get the Origin thing. But it's gone into Steam. I believe I've got a free game. I don't know, well, I won't download it right this second, obviously, because I've got other things to do. So right, I can see how it happens. Yeah, if I had a Steam account 10 years ago, I'd love to see what it looked like.
Is a challenge, right, to listeners? If you've got any spare keys for random ass twisted fucked up games, let's get back to play them.
All right.
And talk about them. So this thing that you played for 4 hours, what were you doing? Kissing and cuddling? Bit of cross dressing?
No, it was just a visual novel, to be fair.
Okay.
And no, it didn't work.
Didn't have the desired effect. Is that what I'm saying?
I don't know. Maybe I'm desensitized or something.
Was your DLL not found? Oh well, here we go. No, I'll be very curious to see what we can hook Matt up with. So what else have you considered dropping on any free to play card games at all? Maybe a little bit of Magic Arena or Eternal.
Well, you know what? All I'm waiting for is that invite where I know that you'll get a kickback from it.
I fucking talked about that on the last show or the show before.
Well, can you just send it me on an email via a link?
Yeah, I'll resend you the link. All right.
Hell.
Yeah. You won't get a kickback from me for installing Magic Arena, but you'll do well to get that, particularly when potentially there'll be some physical Magic going on in the near future, within the next 30 days, might say.
Well, interesting you say. By all accounts, there's going to be another show out this month.
This month? Well, maybe the beginning of June.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah. We're on a mooch about. We're going to be descending upon somebody's home, so we'll. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so there'll be some physical Magic going on there, mate. So you might want to do yourself a golden and just have a little look at Magic Arena. Do you know what? Right. It's a good fucking game.
All right, I'll do that.
It's a good old game, my friend.
I won't do that.
It teaches you well. All right. Okay, digital. Anything else from you?
Oh, yeah. Well, one day I'll talk to you about so many games.
Okay, but not today.
Not today.
No.
Today is not that day.
What do we say to the god of Matthew's gaming? Not today. Oh dear. Oh, the Game of Thrones callbacks. They'll be listening back to this in about 20 years' time. Go, I don't know what the fucking hell they're talking about. Was that funny back in those days? No, it wasn't funny then at the time. So you're not missing anything, mate. Okay, right. So I guess I've kind of alluded to the digital stuff I've been doing. So my time is. My digital gaming time is mainly focused on playing Eternal. I am really enjoying that game, and I from a digital perspective, I play it a ton more than Magic Arena. But there's a couple of reasons for that, which I've spoken of in the past. One is it's abundance of free shit you get thrown at you all the time. Winning battles, first win of the day, doing the daily quests, yada yada yada. You're earning stuff all the time, and it's just great. And that visceral feel of opening a pack and it looks great and it's shiny and things are exploding around the screen. It's just
life
great.
Doesn't suck for a moment.
It doesn't suck in the slightest. But there's, you have the opportunity to build your own decks, and this is something that kind of kept me away from the CCGs, is that I just want to get a deck and play it. And in some ways, I still do that. I do a lot of net decking. So net decking is somebody's devised a deck and it's great, and then you go, right, okay, I'm going to copy that and have fun with it. So I'll still do that. There are situations where you're kind of forced down a route of having to deck build, which I think is good for somebody like me. So with Eternal, they have monthly leagues. So what you do is you pay your gold, which you'll accrue just through playing the game. So this effectively doesn't cost me anything, and you enter into a month-long league. So when you first enter, if you're entering in the first week, you'll get eight packs to open, and those 8 packs that you've opened, they're the cards that you have with which to build and craft your deck. And then you go out and you play against people, and it's like a ladder system. Your ranking will go up and up and up and up and up, and then the second week you'll get a couple of more packs, and then on the third week you'll get a few more packs, and then the final week, a couple more packs, by which time you will have played and tuned and honed your deck to the point where you feel, I can do something with this deck now. And if you're lucky enough to get some good cards on the first week, you'll do well. I mean, some of strategy I'd normally adopt is I'll open my first week's worth of packs, and if I can't really build anything, I'll just leave it a fortnight or leave it till the last week, and then I'll open all the packs together and I'll just play all my games in the final week. But bearing in mind, everybody else has got all the packs as well, so it works in your favour to get off on the right foot to begin with, and you're not tied to the deck that you build at the beginning. You can change it up at any time. You go, do you know what? That was okay, but I think I can build something better. So you can just start again from scratch at any point during the league.
So I mean, each time you get a bunch of new cards, you're either going to be in the headspace of, oh, I might get something which can help me change because I'm not feeling it, or you might already be winning and go, oh, if I get a couple of blues, if I get that cheeky blue or something like that, I'm winning, I'm laughing.
Yeah, or shit, that synergizes so well with the build that I've already got, that's got to go in, and I'll take something that's not as good out. So that's good fun. I'm very much enjoying that. Did I tell you I got a Fire Stick? I told you I got an Amazon Fire Stick, didn't I?
Maybe.
Yeah, so they got apps on there, right? You can get apps, and there's a lot of games you can just control with the remote. But there are some games that require a controller. So I bought a Bluetooth controller, a Steel Series controller. It weren't cheap, but I like it because it's Bluetooth, so I can hook it up to a PC if I wanted to, which is absolutely fine. And I was what I've been playing, Pac-Man 256, that old favourite. Bit of Crossy Road. Loves me a bit of Crossy Road.
Did you get a Flappy Bird clone?
Yeah, Flappy Bird's on there. I'm not going back to the well with Flappy Bird. It had its moment, and I'm past it now. It does what it does. But you can hook a controller up to it, and you can control everything within the dashboard and the UI with just a controller. Speaking of just gadgets and gizmos, I've kind of gone further down the rabbit hole of the smart home.
Tell me everything. I want to know. I want to learn.
The smart home ecosystem. So as you know, I got my Alexa, or my Echo. And that's been running and rocking for some time. I'm a wake word is computer because I'm a Star Trek nerd and I like to pretend to be Captain Picard. And so I thought, how can I better my life with this new technology? So I went to IKEA and I bought I bought into their smart home system. So you have to buy their hub because that acts as a bridge between their tech and the Amazon Echo. So basically now, in the lights in my dining room, they are all smart lights. I've also invested in a smart plug which controls the lamp I've got in the corner, and they are all tied to my group, which is my dining room. So what that means is if I say computer, turn on dining room lights, it acknowledges the request and then turns all the lights on. But you could take it one step further and say, right, well, I'm going to go down the Picard route. And if I just say computer lights, that works as well now, because I've set that up as a
group.
As not only as a group, but as a I can't remember what they call it now. But anyway, it's like a trigger, a program. So you've done basic rudimentary programming. You say, right, if this is said, then do this, and this.
Got you. Macro in it.
Yeah. You're building a little macro. So now I've got.
Does that mean, could you possibly in a world where you could say, Alexa, sexy time?
Oh Jesus
And
Christ! Have you
everything
been
happens.
to my house? Right. I'm not gonna tell you anything, right? But I've got a very special routine. I've got a very special routine set up for when I say computer, it's sexy time. Okay. So Alexa says a bunch of stuff which I'm not going to repeat on here. But in addition to that, it lowers all the lights to 5%. And then plays Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On." Oh, boo! Because I know how to do it, man. I know what the bitch is like.
Oh, it's 5%. Did you play with that?
Mate, 5% of me is not a million miles away from 100% of me in the grand scheme of things. You know. So, but no, I'm having loads of fun with that. It's very. I think the smart home system's called Tradfri, TRADFRI.
Is it? How much talking? How much talking for these light bulbs?
The bulbs are about. I think the bulbs are about £15 each.
I mean, I know the bulbs are expensive, but do they never die or something?
Yeah, they're LED bulbs, and they're dimmable, fully programmable. There are other solutions out there. I just went with the IKEA one because, well, IKEA.
Yeah. So
and I know it works.
So I've been using Bayonet all my life, and I'm now bamboozled by most lighting because it's all different. So getting a solution that's universal is a great idea. But don't lights? Is it the electricity being turned on and off that can make a normal bulb short out? Are we saying with a more digital approach with these is that it doesn't have that immediate surge, so they last longer? Because £15 for a one of them is bonkers.
Yeah, I thought that as well, but I'm probably likely never to have to change this bulb again ever, or these bulbs, because I've got a group of 3 bulbs in my dining room. So actually, that was a much more expensive solution for me. But you can buy the kit, which is it's the bridge, it's a dimmer switch or a remote control, so you can actually operate this smart home system independent of any sort of voice activated stuff. You've got a little doohickey which you can just turn things on, brighten things, darken things, and you'll get I think you might get a bulb with that as well. So you get that basic kit, and then you buy any additional bulbs. And I think you can connect up to 10 bulbs around the house. So working with Amazon Alexa or Amazon Echo, you can then assign groups. So you could have a hallway group, you could have a dining room group, you could have a bedroom group, and you can even, you can schedule things to happen. So I don't know, at 11 o'clock at night, the lights go down low, and you could play "Sexy Motherfucker" by Prince. You could do whatever you want. The world's your oyster, my friend. Or your prawn salad, depending on what you're into.
You gonna get a what they call now, smart thermostat?
Like a Hive, like a yeah.
That's what I've been looking into. That's what I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah, I think the entire setup in my home's a bit old, so I've got a back boiler downstairs. So I think if I'd need to get a new if I got a new boiler system, I'd just naturally go smart home as well, Hive or whatever they want to call it. I think we know somebody who's into that shit, so I should probably have a chat with him at some point, see what my options are. But I understood they were iterating on the technology with that, and there was what a lot of people are using now is going to end up being legacy in a short amount of time. I could be talking utter bollocks, so take what I've just said with a pinch of salt. But I heard the word on the street was stuff's going to get better, as you would expect it to.
Yeah.
If it didn't, we'd still be on the PS1. And who'd want to be doing that nowadays? Not me, my friend. Okay. Battle Arena to Shinden was great in its day, but that looks like a bag of balls right now. You hear me?
Yeah, no complaints here.
Okay. I think that's us done for all things digital. We're going to take a very short break. We're going to drop you a banger of a chiptune. And
certified.
And then we're going to come back with some analogue antics and all that other gubbins. See you soon. And we're back. Oh, do you know how long I've waited to drop a little DM into the show?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah.
I loves me some. I wonder if anyone's worked out what the general theme is around our chip tunes yet.
I think I remember you telling me what it was.
Oh yeah, we know what it is. I'm just wondering if anybody else has worked it out. So
I may have forgot.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Yeah. We'll come back to it at some point in the future, maybe for the 300th episode in 2025. Right. Anyway, analog antics. I'm going to ask you, Matthew. I'm going to assume the worst. So what? I'm going to assume you've not played anything analog. In terms of during the house move, have they gone in the bin, or have they moved with you?
I saw Creative Differences the other day.
Yes, of course, the game that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know. If they are, they're in the shed. Unsleeved, the sleeves next to them in the shed.
Oh, unsleeved, gathering mould, getting all damp, cards curling, cardboard degrading. Oh, it just doesn't. Oh, just stop. You're the worst. You're the best and the worst person in the world. You know that. I love you so much, but you're an asshole. If that stuff's just festering in your garage. Although to be fair, I've got a bunch of plastic instruments in my garage. But hey, that's plastic and not cardboard. That's my excuse.
Oh, they survived the trip. My Rock Band 4. They're in the shed.
Okay. Same place as mine. Brilliant stuff.
Love a shed, me. If I can't see, I don't own it.
Okay, so analog antics from my end. I still very much look forward to and enjoy my weekly, or as and when we can, my weekly weekend sit down with the big D man, playing some cardboard. We play a lot of paper magic. Always get that to the table almost. With the rocking with the cubes that I've got built, and I'm very much enjoying fewer games, and by that I mean we try not to sort of play too many games in a single day, so we'll just maybe play 3 or maybe 4, and we find ourselves going back to games that we've predominantly enjoyed in the past. So, for example, we are currently in the midst of another Tour de France with Flamme Rouge. Really, really enjoying that. We love. I think Darren enjoys. As much as we enjoy cooperative play, because we've got Pandemic back to the table a few times. We love playing that game. He does like a bit of adversarial competitive play, and so for example, the last few weeks I've really enjoyed returning to Memoir 44, which is a World War II miniatures combat game. And it still holds up to me as one of my favourite games. It was one of the first games I bought, and it's still one of the most favourite games I've ever played. I just enjoy the simplicity of the system. I think it harkbacks to your childhood of, you're playing with little plastic soldiers and pretending to make war and pew 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 and so there is an element of that, but there is strategy also with the cards that you get dealt, and you have to issue commands, and there's all sorts of good fun stuff going on. But and the reason I'm talking about that is that I'm always playing the Allies, and Darren loves playing the Germans. If ever we play anything World War II related, Darren has to be the Germans, because he just likes being evil to me. It's like when we play a Star Wars game, he has to be the dark side. Because I think there's just inherent evilness in him that he realises through the playing of board games. He's actually a genuinely lovely bloke in real life, but when he gets to the table, the gloves are off, and it turns into a right see you next Tuesday, I must say. So enjoying Memoir 44. Another game that I've had for some time and only just recently got to the table is a game called Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game. Now, I'll start by saying that this game is out of print. You can no longer get it, which is a shame. And this is all down to Games Workshop and Fantasy Flight parting ways. So anything that was licensed by Fantasy Flight from Games Workshop, they could no longer produce.
That's quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah. However, the good news is that Fantasy Flight have effectively reimagined the game in their own fantasy universe, which is in Terra Noth. This is where games like Descent and Runebound come from, and they've gone back to the original designers, and they've basically recreated the original game, and they've made some tweaks to it that have streamlined it and improved it somewhat. So so it's good to see that game is available to the masses again, because what I love about this game is it's purely cooperative, or you can play it solo, multi-handed with multiple characters, and you're journeying. It's all card based. Okay, so there's no big map, there's no sprawling landscapes with figures and stuff. It's all played through the cards. So each character has 4 actions. They have only 4 actions that they can conduct. Now each time they use an action, and they can only do it if there's more than 2 if there's more than 2 characters in play, you only get to activate each character once per round before the enemies get activated. If there's less than 3 players, less than 3 characters, you get to activate twice. But each time you activate, you can't reuse that action again until there is one of the 4 actions, which basically you do all the things on it and it resets all your other actions. So there's these very interesting choices around, well, if I use that action, so it might be explore, or it might be battle, or it might be aid, or it might be something else. And each one of these actions is unique to each different character, so there's plenty of scope for variability. But you are presented with some very interesting conundrums, because you might have monsters bearing down on you, but you've got to explore this dungeon before something bad happens, because at the end of each round, the peril marker moves along the track, and if it hits a certain point, like, shit's going to go down and you're probably going to lose the game. So there's this pressure for you to not only to manage the enemies that are coming at you, but to progress through exploring the dungeon. But you've only got these 4 actions. Now, the good thing about these actions is that a few of them are actually designed to help the entire party. And this for me, what drives this deep, collaborative, cooperative experience. Unlike most other games that I've played that are cooperative, it really does. It makes you focus and work together, and you're having conversations. You're potentially planning a couple of moves ahead and say, right, well, if I use this action, I can do X. Then you do that action that you want to do, but then the next action I do afterwards will actually allow you to reactivate one of your actions you've already activated. So there's a lot of crazy, twisty and turny things here, but it's beautifully designed, it's beautifully implemented. I would say by far one of my favourite cooperative games that I've played in a long time. I really enjoyed it. We're playing through a campaign at the moment. We have it's only a relatively short campaign. There's about 5 or 6 quests, and we actively look forward to getting this to the table every week, just to see how we can move the story forward, but also enjoy the thrill of playing the game and going through those cooperative steps and just having a whole load of fun together. And there's some dice chucking in there, because you need a bit of random elements, to any game like that. But the mechanic that I love about this game is the exploding dice mechanic. So on various sides of the die, you'll have 1 success or 2 successes, or you might have a shield which will help you defend against an enemy's attack. But there's one side which is like a little explosion. So what this does is it says, yes, you've got a success, but you get to roll this dice again. So you have the potential to be up against insurmountable odds. But if you roll an exploding dice and then another and then another and then another, you can actually pull something out of your ass that you just thought wasn't possible. And it's so exhilarating and exciting when you roll. I know it sounds really nerdy to say I'm getting all jazzed over fucking one side of a 6-sided die, but that's the beauty of the exploding dice mechanic. I know there's a couple of other games that do it, and I wish more did actually do it, because it certainly adds it adds something to the act of dice rolling. That there is potential for you to effectively roll a 20, roll a natural 20, and for you to crit again and to crit again.
You got the excitement and that thrill of, you know what, just maybe.
Mm. So the game you can get right now, which is effectively the same game, is called Heroes of Terranoth. If you shop around, it's about between £26 and £30. There's a whole lot of game in that box, unlike a lot of other Fantasy Flight releases. So if you're interested and you want to have a good time, go check out some YouTube playthroughs of Heroes of Terranoth or Warhammer Adventure Card Game, and make your own informed decision. You won't be disappointed. You can thank me later. So there you go. That's all I'm going to talk about, analog-wise. Similarly to you, I could probably, and I know I don't log my plays on my board gaming app anymore. Otherwise, I could just sit and look at it and go, "Oh yeah, I remember playing that," or "I remember playing that." Shit, last Sunday I went back and played Dominion, which was the granddaddy of deck building games. I've not played that for a long time, and had a bunch of fun with it.
Yeah,
you could tell why that's still a very, very popular game. So it's great just to be able to go back to your collection and go, right, what have I not played in a long time? And let's get it out. Let's do a little refresher on the rules. And if past Darren has been a good boy, he'll have printed and laminated some help sheets, and just enjoy yourselves.
Here's a question for you.
Mm.
Oh, no, that's a lie. It's gone. It's gone. I had a really good question. It's gone. What were you talking about?
Old games?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. You mentioned that Battle Arena doesn't look that good anymore.
Mm.
Are there? I mean, like when it comes to like board games, is there never any kind of generational shift where it's just near impossible to go back to something, even though you previously enjoyed it? Because, I mean, do mechanics change that much and to a point where something just feels unwieldy?
Do you know, that's a good question, and I think you could approach it in a couple of ways. I think there's probably games that were made in the past that, for whatever reason, may have been deliberately very deep and clunky. Now you're talking like your proper grognard war games, which have got rule books, the size of encyclopedias, and they were probably very poorly written, and that whole thing about it's all about involving people and accelerating their learning curve.
Have fun quicker.
These games, yeah. Have fun quicker. That's a good strapline, and there's companies out there, or there's people out there that actually dedicate themselves to writing rule books, because they have a deep understanding of how people learn, and people learn in different ways. So some people learn through reading, other people learn through watching, some people like to learn through actually playing and being walked through the game itself, almost like a video game tutorial. You were talking about Persona 5 and the training wheels being on for quite a long time for you, but for other people, they might really appreciate having their hand held through the first couple of hours so that they can get themselves familiar. And those type of people probably won't even look at a manual. They'll probably look at the crib sheet on the back that says, "Oh, what does all the buttons do?" We'll go into the options, but they won't read a manual, because that's what people did 25 years ago. All right, what people want nowadays is instant gratification. So they'll fire the game up and go, right, there better be a fucking tutorial, or I'm going to be really pissed off. And I'm going to go and cry on social media about it. So I think the barrier of entry is a lot lower now than it used to be, And I think that's just done through clever game design and also through, good execution of quality gameplay manuals and rule books. So that's not to say that the older games are not impenetrable. That you're potentially just going to find them harder to get engaged with, unless you really apply yourself.
I hear you.
So there you go. Done. Done. What's we've got any chat? We haven't talked about 2019 shenanigans yet, have we?
I'm sure we have, haven't we? No, we've done a show this year.
We've mentioned it before, but I think it's probably worth giving people an update because people are there with the credit cards waiting to book hotels and shit.
Oh God, you mean 2019?
That's what I just said. 2019. We need to give people dates and shit. So
what are you talking about, Willis?
So we're talking about Midlife Gamer X, or MLGX, as it's better known. And we normally piggyback that on the back of the Eurogamer Expo, which sadly is no longer in Birmingham, and it's no longer in a easily accessible place in London, and nor at a time when it's good for people. I think it's fair to say. It's not to say it's not going to be a good show, because I think it will be absolutely awesome, particularly if there are new consoles launched this year. That they are often the best times to go to games expos is when that new console's announced. You go, I'm going to get my hands on it, the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox 2 or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah.
But
I got down and dirty with a Vita. I did once.
Yeah. But for many of us, it's a bridge too far, and it's in the middle of October. It's down at the Excel in London, which I understand isn't the most not hospitable, but when we were at Earl's Court, you were at the hub of activity. Everything was within a short distance. Whether it's mozzarella sticks or dirty kebabs or probably some sex, it was all there, wherever you wanted. But when you're putting it somewhere that's a little further afield, it just presents some barriers that people aren't willing to to overcome. I, for one, I'm not particularly a big fan of going to London. Full stop. It's I'll adopt the Partridge stance on London. It's a shithole. But the people from there are very nice, and I know a lot of Londoners, and you lot are okay. It's just the other people. All right, that's all I'm saying. So over the last few years, we've had gatherings middle to late September in the centre of Birmingham. It's a good place, easy for everybody to get to. The travel infrastructure's there. The activities are there, which I think we'll be able to focus a little more on this year because we're not losing people over to the NEC to go and stand in a hall for a couple of hours watching other people play video games. So we are having a gathering this year, and it is the last weekend in September, which is not a million miles away from what we used to do anyway. We will be having a gathering on the Saturday night, which I believe is Saturday the 28th. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just double check my diary here. Saturday the 28th. Okay. But in addition to that, we plan to facilitate other activities. There's so many cool things that you can do in the centre of Birmingham, and we've got such a diverse set of people that love to do crazy and wonderful things. We've got our runners, we've got our climbers, we've got people who like to go and do escape rooms. There's go-karting. There's a whole load of stuff that, whatever you want to do. So we're not necessarily going to say, well, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. We're just going to say, well, we've discovered these things. Do you want to do it? And we'll help you make it happen. Okay? But on the Saturday night, we'll all come together at a venue to be confirmed, and we will have a good time. Because we're a family, and when we get together as a family, we enjoy each other's company, and that's one of the things that I love more than anything else about our community, is that when you're with these people, you genuinely feel an awful lot of love, and I want that to continue. as do you and the community managers. So have I covered everything off there, or do you need to add anything to that statement?
Well, no, I think you got everything down. Everything down. And I like Birmingham. I used to give Birmingham a bad rap, but I think we've kind of found a couple of little roots there. Some roots just digging into all Birmingham.
Yeah, well, it's getting rid of that bloody hotel with the piss stink subway. That was a massive help.
That was a fucking game changer. That was. Imagine that, treating ourselves to a fucking decent hotel when we're there for 3 nights.
Yeah, and this could turn out again into a multi-night venture for many people. You know, for a lot of people in the community, 1 night is never enough to spend with the midlife gamer community. So don't be surprised if people are booking the Friday night or maybe even the Thursday night for no other reason than just to be with other midlife gamers, because that's what they do, and that's what they do so very, very well.
And you know what? I suppose if you're it's a thought. Then if you're a listener now and you've been thinking about coming to one of the gigs in the past, but didn't get a chance to and wanted to again, if you know something that you could that is nice to do, I don't know, start talking about it. You might know a little gem in Birmingham that would be real nice for us to sort of like, I don't know, go and explore. Yeah,
Wayland's Forge in the custard factory is it a custard factory? Digbeth, yeah, it's a board game shop. There's tables and everything in there. We could go and play some Magic or something.
Could play some Magic.
Play some Magic anyway, mate. You just give me a flat surface. Give me a flat surface, and you've got me. Let's throw down and make it happen. That's what I'm all about. You saw me last year, so yes, look up for some more of that. But no, maybe we can get some board gamers to bring some shit down. I don't know. The world's our oyster. We can do whatever we want to do. We're not tied to an expo anymore, so we can go off in our own direction. The Saturday night may look completely different to what we've done in the past. You know, that's something that we've talked about. So the finer details are yet to be nailed down. So I can't really say too much more. But you know, expect that Saturday night to take on a slightly different guise.
And also, don't forget that if you are one of the lucky few who are going to be able to get to and enjoy EGX as a weekend and an experience, you're not going to be alone from family either. There's still going to be there will be families that you don't quite know there ready to embrace you.
There'll be people repping hard for the MLG down at the expo. I'm telling you now. And I guess equally we've got the next expo that I'm keen to attend is the UK Games Expo, the beginning of June. So I will keep an eye at me on social media. It's easy to miss me because I don't tweet very often. Although I've started to up my game a little last few weeks, particularly with my Game of Thrones reviews. So I'm only counting the numbers of tits and dragons normally, and that forms the basis of my my assessment of the show, of the episode. So yeah, but I'm keen for for people wanting to go to the UK Games Expo. If you've never been to that before and you like board games, you should really make a point of going, even if it's just for one day, because it's great. God, you got to do something about your wallet. You either got to be prepared to spend a load of money or just leave your wallet at home, because with EGX, it's very much about the show and people showing you games. Mm-hmm. Okay, with the UK Games Expo, people selling you games, and they're selling you all shit. Yeah, so take your wallet.
Or leave your wallet. One or the other.
Take it expecting to batter it, or leave it, or hide it, or get your missus or your other half, your fella, to confiscate it. But life's too short. Enjoy it. That's what I say. Indulge. Spend money. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the to the end of another outstanding show. Matthew, I thought you got yourself off the hook there with the domestics. I'm not going to let you off that easily. What's going on? How do you find us?
Probably on Facebook. I don't know. Twitter.
Fuck Facebook. Yeah, Twitter's bag of shit as well. Instagram. We're on Grindr.
We are on Instagram. Okay. So midlifegamer.net is a website. Midlife Gamer on Facebook is a group. And I think also there's something else.
A page.
It's group of the page. There you go.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter. The main feed is at midlifegamer.net. Jesus, it's been a long time. How does Twitter work?
You basically scream. You basically put your caps lock on and you just go wah like everybody else does, and hit enter.
Well, at Uncle_Fist, I remember that, and at Mantis Matt are the two of us bad selves. There is an Instagram thing, but I've not logged into that since I don't know,
since forever. We're putting all photos of you up there, mate. You don't even know it. Sucking toes. Yeah, king of the toe job you are, mate. I'm telling you. Oh,
that was bad.
I tell you what, fellas, he goes down like a $10 whore. It's great.
Anyway,
we'll bring this show to a close. I think it's been most enjoyable. I've really enjoyed catching up with you, mate. We should do this more often.
Oh, good point.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, be wonderful to each other. Go balls deep whenever you can, and join us next time when we'll bring you another exciting episode of the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Say goodbye, Matthew.
Next time.
Bruv. Fam. You feeling me?
But gee, I've got a link here that he sent me about.
Wait. You gotta wait. Right. Okay. Right. I need to ask you a question first. A bit of a personal one. You don't have to answer it. You've been married how long now?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. How are things in the bedroom department? Are you still igniting fires, or is the thing starting to get a little stale? Not stale, but maybe a little pedestrian.
To be fair, it's back on the up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like that trajectory to continue?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, you need to get yourself grapefruited.
Who?
Yeah, you need to get grapefruited. You hear me, brother? Bruv?
Am I going to learn something now?
You hear me? Yeah, you're going to learn something, and Joe's going to learn something later as well, because you're going to show this to him and say, I want that fucking thing. All right? You're going to get yourself grapefruited. So, listen, I learned about this accidentally. Okay? Accidentally. And I pissed myself. I honestly pissed myself. But then I thought about it and thought, that sounds fucking awesome. So basically, in short, what happens is the woman gets a so you go and you'll get to Morrison's or Tesco or other supermarkets are available. Get yourself a nice pink grapefruit, yeah, and then you chop the ends off.
Oh, yeah. What's a grapefruit look like?
It's like a massive fuck off orange.
All right.
It's yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, pink grapefruit or Florida, whatever they call it. Anyway, you chop the ends off so you've got two pink fleshy bits exposed at either end.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll cut a bit out the middle, just enough to fit your old fella on.
Okay.
Yeah, or through. And then what the good lady does then is she'll get you standing to attention.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then she'll whack the grapefruit on your fella.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you're big enough, it'll go all the way through, and your tip will be poking out, saying hello, going,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, that was nice." And what she'll do then is she'll start. Then she can give you oral, and sort of squeeze, like almost grip your penis through holding the grapefruit.
So is it Mother Nature's
it's like
fleshlight?
It's like a fruity, it's a fruity Mother Nature fleshlight with a hole in the end, which allows her to continue the joy at the tip.
Okay.
There's a video on YouTube, and I believe I've no reason to disagree. I believe this woman is the one that revealed it to the world. Now I want you to. There's a lot of preamble at the beginning, which you don't really need to bother about. But I want you to pay attention to some of the sounds that happen, and I want you to start at around 2 minutes 30. Understanding that I've explained to you the concept, and she'll go into a little more detail.
Yeah. You have the grapefruit already prepared under the bed. He smelled the citrus in the air. He thinks you have on some Victoria's Secrets or something. He has no idea. And what you're going to do is be a woman of your word. Now, you have to get his penis erect. So what you're going to do is just suck his dick. That's like you said you were going to do.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
She's a noisy eater, isn't she?
Oh, yeah,
He's
just
nice
like that.
erect.
Just
What
like
you're
that.
going to do is replace the grapefruit from your mouth. You're going to twist up and down on his shaft and suck the head at the same time.
Look at her go.
She's
Now,
a
ladies,
trooper,
remember,
isn't she?
Grapefruit is also a
Absolute
fat
trooper.
burner, so you actually lose it.
I can't. Okay. I refuse to sit here.
Thoughts. Let's initial thoughts.
Okay, well, firstly, I refuse to sit here and watch something that sounds this filthy while I'm on the phone with you.
All right. Well, I'm not. I'm fully clothed. I'm not erect. I'm not doing anything under the table. I'm imparting some essential advice here to not only you but the listeners as well. For all you lads out there and ladies that are listening, you need to get some fruit in your life. It's good for you, and it's a calorie burner as well. Get grapefruited, mate. Just get grapefruited.
Also, whoever says that they're the first person to have announced something on the internet and it's to do with something filthy, they weren't the first person. I reckon there's places down there in the deep, darkest parts of hell where they use like a pineapple inside out.
Well, no, because that's wrong. That damage you in a significant way.
I ain't too sure that grapefruit is going to be the best thing for you, old fella, getting rubbed in like that. All that absorption. I know I can do with some vitamin C and everything, but that's not the main route.
What's the route? What's the danger in sticking your knob through a grapefruit?
All right. How many things have you stuck your cock in out of curiosity?
I'm not willing to divulge that information.
All right,
my friend.
Would you put paint on your cock?
Paint?
Okay, maybe paint's a bad example.
Chocolate body paint.
Oh, right, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Does it not absorb and be all weird and like fuck?
What, is your knob like a fucking sponge or something? Is it porous? What do you think? That stuff's going to enter your bloodstream through osmosis?
Well, I don't know about you, fella, but if this sounds horrible now. I'm terribly sorry, ladies, if you're still listening. I'm terribly sorry, fellas, if you're still listening.
And Georgie, earmuffs. Sorry, should have said that earlier.
But if you're that red, pink, if you're that full of blood, the reason everything's more tender and more nice is that everything, all the senses are firing off there. Surely isn't that then also absorbing whatever's? I don't know. You might turn into some kind of like citrus giant with a massive cock.
No. So you're labouring under the belief that when your penis is erect, that it's some kind of black hole for life, and that it just sucks everything out of everything. Yeah. Because if that was true, your missus would look like Melisandre without a necklace on, wouldn't she? Yeah. But that's not the case, my friend. Okay? It's a nourishing experience. It's up to you, mate. You could deny yourself the pleasure, but I'm willing to bet that I know some listeners out there that will be checking this out and going, I've done that. Or they'll say, I'm going to give that a go. Come here, love. I got something to try. We're going down the fruit aisle. She'll know something's up because he never goes down the fruit aisle.
He's not going towards the cucumber, is he? Oh, yeah. Please tell me I didn't get it wrong.
Yeah. And don't worry about being so sloppy. That's I don't mind a bit of moisture going on during the old filleting, but I don't want it sounding like a bloody shire horse eating a sugar cube. All right, but yeah,
I don't mean to continue Darren's already massively crude conversation, but I saw a meme that made me giggle. And it's not often that happens. I think that's the first time I've ever said that out loud.
Okay.
I saw a meme that made me giggle. I think it was 2 images of Peter from Family Guy, and he was, you know, when you put your towel between your legs and you kind of shove yourself, you floss yourself.
Yeah.
It was a picture of him doing that, and it said something like, you know, you've had a good wet, messy blowjob, but this is how you have to clean yourself.
It's damn right, man. Was he using the sex towel? Have you got a sex towel, Matthew?
Not anymore.
Oh, right. Oh, it
didn't
dry
survive,
down there now?
It didn't survive.
Oh, yes, because you sucked the moisture out of everything with your massive hard cock. The anhydrous penis from hell. Jesus Christ. Did you skip biology at school?
Did history, fella.
Yeah. That's more linked to your sex life, isn't it? Bye.